All right, guys. So today we are going to take a look at matrices. We're going to be adding and subtracting as well as using scalars. So our learning goal is, again, to add and subtract matrices. I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to check these, but you will not be able to use a calculator when we take our quiz. A matrix is just a rectangular array of numbers. So an M by N matrix is going to have M rows and N columns. These dimensions, this is going to be known as the dimensions of the matrix. So if I'm looking at this matrix A, this is a row. Rows always go in the horizontal direction. This is a column. So columns go in the vertical direction. So the dimensions on this matrix A are going to be that we have 3 rows by 2 columns. So if I asked you which of the entries is in the second row, first column, think about that. The second row, first column. Row 1, row 2, there's the second row, and the first column, that would be the number 1. All right, looking at matrix B, I want you to decide what are the dimensions of matrix B. Well, it's going to have 2 rows and 5 columns. And then I could ask you, what is in the second row, third column? Second row, third column is the number 1. All right, matrix C, what are the dimensions? 2 by 3. Okay, look at matrix D. Looks kind of strange. But the dimensions here, we're going to have 4 rows and just 1 column. Okay, for matrix B again, what is the entry for the second row, second column? So we're going to look at the second row, second column. What is it? The number 5. For matrix C, what is the entry in the third row, second column? That's how this is read. Well, do we even have a third row, second column? No. So this does not exist. We don't have any entry. We can just put none. There's no value there. Okay, to add and subtract matrices, the matrices must have the same dimension. So matrix A here is a 2 by 2 matrix. Matrix B, 2 by 2. Matrix C is going to have 2 rows, 3 columns. Matrix D is going to have 2 rows, 3 columns. So therefore, we're only going to be able to add those matrices that have the same dimensions. Those can be added. These cannot be added. Let's go ahead and do it. A plus B. Well, if I'm adding those matrices, I'm just going to look at my first row, first column. Here is my first row, first column. Here is my first row, first column. Those entries get added and we get -2. This is going to be in the first row, second column. So I look at those entries. First row, second column, first row, second column. And I'm going to add those entries and I get -6. These are in the same spot. They're in the second row, first column. So I'm going to get 13. And here we are going to have, let's use squiggles. These two are in the same position. Second row, second column, and I'm going to get 6. Very easy to add and subtract matrices, but I want to show you how you can do it on your calculator. So you're going to find matrix on your calculator. On mine, matrix is right there. So I'm going to have to push second inverse to get to that. I'm going to go to edit, and in matrix A, I'm going to put in this 2 by 2 matrix. And I'm going to put in my entries for -1, 6, 3. I have to quit. I have to go back to my matrix, go over to edit, and I have to go down now to matrix B. Edit matrix B. It's also a 2 by 2 matrix. I put in my entries, -6, -5, 7, and 3. I now have to quit. I go to my home screen, clear it out if it's not already. And now I'm going to go back to matrix and I'm going to get the name. I'm not editing. I just want the name, matrix A plus, go back and get the name, matrix B, enter. And now I can check -2, -6, 13, and 6. Very easy. Okay, now in part B, this is called a scalar. So I have to take every entry in matrix A and multiply it by 2. So I'm just going to do that off to the side. Every entry gets multiplied by 2. And then we're going to have to subtract B from that. So I'm going to have to do 8 minus -6, -2 minus -5, 12 minus 7, and 6 minus 3. Now, I did that pretty quickly, so let's check it. We're going to go back to matrix A, minus, go back to matrix B, and we are correct. Okay, now it's asking us to add B plus C. What do you think? Well, we just said up above they have to have the same dimensions, and they do not. So this can't be done. And if we try to do it on our calculator, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my matrix. I'm going to edit my matrix C, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in quickly, 2 by 3, typing it in. I just want to show you what the calculator will do if it cannot complete the problem. So if I now go back to my names, matrix B plus matrix C, and it's going to say right here, check the size or the dimensions of your list or matrices. Well, we already knew that was going to happen because our dimensions do not match. And if I go to, it's going to say right there, that matrix is not the same dimensions as that one. Okay, 3D minus C, you know the drill. We'd multiply all of these by 3. We'll see if we can do this quickly. That's going to be 27 minus 4 is 23. That's going to be -24. And then plus 1 is -23 again. And then I have to multiply the D by 3. So that's going to be 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7. Okay, and then I'm going to have to do, oh, wait a minute, I'm subtracting 3 minus 7, right? 3 minus 7, this should be -4. Did I subtract on the other ones? Okay, that is why we should just go ahead and write this out. 27, -24, and 3, 0, -15, and 6. And then from that, I'm going to want to subtract this. Just want to double check. So 27 minus 4, good. -24 minus -1, that was correct. 3 minus 7 should have been the -4, like we said. So -4 in there. And then we have 0 minus 0, -15 minus 3, and 6 minus -2. And again, we can use our calculator if we have some more complicated computations. We could use it to check. Okay. All right. That is it for today. So the biggest things to note are the dimensions must be the same in order to add or subtract. So like we said down here, we can only add those matrices that have the same dimensions. And also understanding that the rows always go across. What I see happen a lot is people have a hard time telling the dimensions of the matrix. And that's, again, we want to go across. We have 3 of these rows, 2 of these columns. Okay, and then just to finish up, what if I asked you in, let's go down here. If I ask you in matrix D rather, and I ask you for that entry that's in the second row, third column, could you tell me what that is? And you should say 2 for that. This is going to be important that you understand that location when we do the work that we're going to do tomorrow with multiplying matrices. That's going to be much more difficult. All right.